Cross-border commerce navigates a local business to global forum by leveraging the efficient logistics and supply chain, innovative ideas, raising demand for e-commerce, paved a way for sustainability and social responsibility. In today's interconnected world, cross-border commerce is a lifeblood for our global economy. However, we face a harsh reality of escalating threat due to the climate change. It's not just an environmental issue, but it's a fundamental challenge to the way we do business, impacting everything from the supply chain to consumer behavior and investment decision. Today's conference on cross-border commerce, impact of climate change on global business strategies, dwell into the interplay between cross-border commerce and climate change, focusing on the key themes of entrepreneurship and innovation, maladaptive consumption and its contribution to climate change, innovative business models, use of AI and ML in financial fraud detection. We are glad to inform that we have received articles from 14 states and 5 countries in addressing various challenges posed by climate change and possible solutions to promote sustainable trade and investment. This deliberation will foster collaboration and innovation to create a more sustainable and resilient future for cross-border commerce. Good morning, Vanakkam and Namaste everyone. A warm and delightful welcome to our esteemed chief guest, Dr. Anil Lamba, guest of honor, Dr. Rashidul Haq, and Mr. G.R. Rajesh, resource person from various states, respected General Secretary and Correspondent, Shri Manjit Singh Nair, beloved Principal, Dr. T.K. Avaikode, Vice Principal, Dr. Anita Malisati, Dr. Swati Paliwal, Dean Academics and Head GNCCOI, Dr. K. Umadevi, Convener and Dean, School of Commerce, Deans of various schools, Center Deans, Heads and faculties of various departments, industry experts, participants, research scholars, and dear students for the 2-day international conference on cross-border commerce, impact of climate change on global business strategies. Let's begin our day by lighting of lamp to mark the auspicious beginning of 2-day international conference. May I request the dignitaries on the dais to light the lamp. Traditionally, lighting of lamp emphasizes the spirit of knowledge, wisdom, skill, enlightenment, and integrity. Here, at this international conference, the lamp signifies of the challenges of climate change into opportunities for resilient future, renewable energy growth, sustainable infrastructure, innovation, and competitiveness. Thank you, dignitaries. I invite the choir team to sing the Tamil Thai Varthu, followed by college prayer rendered by Revered Gyaniji to invoke the blessings of Almighty.
நீராறும் கடலுடுத்த நிலமடந்த கெழிலொழுகும் சீராரும் வதனமென திகழ் பரத கண்டமிதில் தெக்கணமும் அதில் சிறந்த திராவிடனல் திருநாடும் தக்க சிறு பிறை நுதலும் தரித்தனரும் திலகமுமே அத்திலக வாசனை போல் அனைத்துலகும் இன்பமுற எத்திசையும் புகழ் மணக்க இருந்த பெரும் தமிழனங்கே தமிழனங்கே உன் சீரிலமை திறம் வியந்து செயல் மறந்து வாழ்த்துதுமே வாழ்த்துதுமே வாழ்த்துதுமே.
शुभ कर मन ते कबहू ना टरूं, जब आपकी औध निदान बने, जब आपकी औध निदान बने, अतहिरण में तब जूझ मरूं, अतहिरण में तब जूझ मरूं, देह शिवावर मोहे शुभ कर मन ते कबहू ना टरूं, देह शिवावर मोहे शुभ कर मन ते कबहू ना टरूं, शुभ कर मन ते कबहू ना टरूं, शुभ कर मन ते कबहू ना टरूं।
Thank you, Ganiji and the choir team for a very sacred and devotional rendition. Let us now get started with the proceedings for the day. I now call upon our beloved principal, Dr. T.K. Avaikode, to give the welcome address.
Very pleasant morning to one and all present here. I deem it as my proud privilege to welcome our esteemed chief guest for today's inaugural session of the two-day international conference on cross-border commerce, impact of climate change on global business strategies, ICCBC 2025, Dr. Anil Lamba, Director, LAMCON, Financial Literacy Activist and International Corporate Trainer. Thank you very much, sir, for accepting our invitation and honoring us with your valuable presence in spite of your busy schedule. I extend a warm welcome to the guests of honor, Dr. Rashidul Haq, Assistant Professor, Masa University, Malaysia, and Mr. G.R. Rijesh, General Manager, Kerala Medical Technology Consortium. I welcome our most respected General Secretary and Correspondent, Mr. Manjit Singh Nair. I welcome all the speakers for the various technical sessions and special invitees. I also welcome our Dean Academics and Head GNCCY, Dr. Swati Paliwal, Controller of Examinations, Dr. P.V. Kumaraguru, Vice Principal SFS, Dr. Anita Malisetti, Dean School of Commerce, Dr. K. Umadevi, Deans and Deputy Deans of various schools and centers, heads of various departments, and staff from the School of Commerce and various other departments of Guru Nanak College. I welcome all the researchers, paper presenters, and participants who have come from various education institutions in and around the country to attend this two-day international conference. I welcome people who have come from press and media. Welcome, one and all. As we have participants from various education institutions in and around the country, I deem it as my duty to give a brief introduction about Guru Nanak College. Guru Nanak College was established in the year 1971 by the Guru Nanak Educational Society to commemorate the 500th birth anniversary of Shri Guru Nanak Devji. It was started as a men's institution with 450 students in the pre-university and 3 undergraduate programs, and today it has blossomed into a full-fledged co-educational undergraduate, PG and research institution with a student strength of 7,500 and a staff strength of 450, which includes both teaching and non-teaching staff. The college is affiliated to the University of Madras and has been granted the autonomous status since 2015, and it is recognized by the University Grants Commission. At present, Guru Nanak College offers 27 undergraduate programs, 9 postgraduate programs, and 8 PhD research programs. In addition, the college offers 82 value-added skill development certificate courses. The college is accredited with the highest CGPA of 3.68 with A++ grade, with a CGPA of 3.68 out of 4 by the National Assessment and Accreditation Council, that is NAC, and is ranked in the 89th position in the country by the NIRF, that is the National Institutional Ranking Framework. Now, I would like to say a few words about the School of Commerce. The School of Commerce at Guru Nanak College is a vibrant academic wing known for its academic excellence and research achievements. It offers 7 undergraduate programs and 1 postgraduate and research program. The School of Commerce is supported by a dedicated team of 75 qualified faculty members, 50 of whom hold PhDs, including 9 research supervisors recognized by the University of Madras, who have collectively guided 90 PhD scholars. The faculty members are actively involved in research, with numerous research papers published in prestigious journals such as Scopus, UGC CAR-listed publications, and Guru Nanak Journal of Multidisciplinary Research. With around 3,000 students, which is more than 40% of the total strength of the college, the school fosters a diverse and dynamic learning environment, providing ample opportunities for both academic and research growth. The curriculum is designed to equip students for professional courses such as ICMA, ACS, and CA, while offering skills necessary to become software developers and computer system analysts. The department associations host various events aimed at promoting holistic development and nurturing the qualities of aspiring commerce professionals. I always feel happy and proud to say that I am a part of the School of Commerce because I have been serving the postgraduate Department of Commerce for the past 35 years. For this 2-day international conference on cross-border commerce, impact of climate change on global business strategies, we have received overwhelming response from researchers and students from all over India and abroad. We have received 140 research articles from 30 educational institutions from 14 states, namely New Delhi, Uttar Pradesh, Kolkata, Maharashtra, Rajasthan, Chandigarh, Kerala, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, and Pondicherry. We have received research papers from 5 countries, namely USA, Turkey, South Korea, Malaysia, and Ethiopia. I am sure that the 2-day international conference on cross-border commerce, impact of climate change on global business strategies will involve very useful discussions and deliberations, and I wish this international conference a grand success. Thank you very much for this wonderful opportunity.
We can see that the audience has been all ears, and thanks, ma'am, for taking us through in such great details and to know about the overwhelming response received for the conference from across the globe. These 2 days are going to be very insightful with lots of deliberations on cross-border commerce, impact of climate change on global business strategies. To enlighten us more on the theme of the conference, I would now like to call upon Dr. K. Umadevi, Convener and Dean, School of Commerce.
A very good morning. Vanakkam, Namaste, Namaskar, and Sat Shri Akal. To all the dignitaries on and off the dais. Welcome to Cross-Border Commerce, Impact of Climate Change on Global Business Strategy, a 2-day international conference organized by School of Commerce. It is an honor to be here today to discuss a topic that is shaping the future of international trade and business, the impact of climate change on global and consumer behavior orders. They must adapt to climate challenges while ensuring sustainability and competitiveness. Climate change is not just an environmental issue, it's an economic and business issue. Rising temperatures, extreme weather, and shifting climate patterns disrupt production, transportation, and resource availability. For example, floods and hurricanes damage the infrastructure and delay shipments. Droughts affect agricultural exports, leading to food shortage and price fluctuations. Wildfires and heat waves disrupt manufacturing and energy supply. These challenges are forcing businesses to rethink their global strategies and incorporate climate resilience into their operations. This conference explores the interactions of climate change and international trade, focusing on how businesses are adapting their global strategy to environmental challenges. The key topics which will be discussed here will be regulatory challenges and compliance, which involves understanding environmental policies and carbon regulations across borders. Sustainable supply chain, which comprises strategies to reduce carbon footprints and enhance resilience in global trade networks. Green innovative technology plays pivotal role in renewable energy, circular economies, and eco-friendly logistics in commerce. Risk management and business resilience involves adapting to climate-induced disruptions such as extreme weather, resource scarcity, and shifting consumer behavior and demands. Investing and financing for sustainable considers exploring green finance, ESG, environmental social governance, investing, and climate-conscious trade policies. Through experts, panel research, and research articles, case studies, and collaborative discussions, the conference aims to equip businesses with actionable insights to navigate climate change or challenges while maintaining competitive advantage in cross-border commerce. For cross-border commerce, climate change transformations present both challenges and opportunities. How do we build resilient supply chains? How do we harmonize global sustainability regulations? How can innovation drive climate-conscious business strategies without hindering the economic growth? These questions are to be a thoughtful one, as we, the global stakeholders, must address to it. This conference serves as a catalyst for dialogue, collaboration, and meaningful action. As we engage in discussion, let us seek innovation solutions that harmonize commerce with climate responsibility. Together, we can shape policies, foster sustainable instruments and investments, and redefine the future global businesses in the face of climate change. I take this opportunity to welcome you all for this international conference on cross-border commerce. Welcome you all. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, ma'am, for reaffirming the theme and the intent of the conference in a very exhaustive manner. Let us all now join together to honor our esteemed guests. I would like to call upon Dr. Swati Paliwal, Dean Academics and Head GNCCOI, to adorn our chief guest, Dr. Anil Lamba, Director, LAMCON, financial literacy activist and international corporate trainer, with the shawl bearing our logo. Thank you, ma'am. I now invite our principal, Dr. T.K. Avaikode, to present our chief guest with a bouquet. Thank you, ma'am. I would like to request our General Secretary and Correspondent, Shri Manjit Singh Nair, to honor our chief guest with a memento as a token of our gratitude. Thank you so much, sir. Next, I call upon Dr. S. Adilinga Senjit, Organizing Secretary, to adorn our guest of honor, Dr. Rashidul Haq, Associate Professor, Faculty of Business, Accounting, Finance, Law and Humanity, Masa University, Malaysia, with a shawl. I would now like to invite Dr. K. Umadevi, Convener and Dean, School of Commerce, to present Dr. Rashidul Haq with a bouquet. Thank you, ma'am. I would now request our General Secretary and Correspondent, Shri Manjit Singh Nair, to honor Dr. Rashidul Haq with a memento. Thank you so much, sir. I now call upon Dr. M. Sivasubramanian, Organizing Secretary, to adorn our guest of honor, Mr. G.R. Rajesh, General Manager, Kerala Medical Technology Consortium, with the shawl. Thank you, sir. I now invite our Principal, Dr. T.K. Avekode, to present Mr. G.R. Rajesh with the bouquet. I once again request our General Secretary and Correspondent, Sri Manjit Singh Nair, to honor Mr. Rajesh with a memento. Thank you, sir.
Requesting the dignitaries to come forward for the release of conference proceeding and journal. I profoundly invite our respected General Secretary and Correspondent, Sri Manjit Singh Nair, to release the conference proceeding consisting of more than 100 abstracts, and request our chief guest, Dr. Anil Lamba, to receive the first copy of the conference proceeding. I request our chief guest, Dr. Anil Lamba, to unveil the conference proceeding, and request our principal to receive the first copy. I request all the dignitaries on the dais to receive a copy of the abstract proceeding along with the editorial board member. The conference proceeding, titled Cross-Border Commerce Impact of Climate Change on Global Business Strategies, ICCBC 2025, edited by Dr. K. Umadevi, co-editor Dr. M. Kavita, Dr. Deepa Sridhar, Dr. E. Gayatri, and editorial support by Ms. S. Gayatri, Dr. M. Ramela. I invite our beloved principal, Dr. T.K. Avekode, to release a journal, and requesting Dr. Rashidul Haq to receive the first copy of the journal, Volume 1, bearing ISBN number, entitled Cross-Border Commerce Impact of Climate Change on Global Business Strategies, which includes full-length paper from various institutions across states, which provides insights about challenges of climate change and possible solution for strategizing the global business. Requesting all the dignitaries on the dais to receive a copy of the journal along with the editorial board members. We are delighted to inform that we will be soon releasing Journal Volume 2, as we have received overwhelming response from various stakeholders. Thank you, dignitaries, for your kind gesture.
May I now invite Ms. S. Gayatri, Organizing Secretary, to introduce our guest of honor, Dr. Rashidul Haq, Associate Professor, Faculty of Business Accounting, Finance, Law and Humanity, Masa University, Malaysia.
A very pleasant morning to one and all present here. I'm privileged to introduce our guest of honor, Dr. Rashidul Haq, today. Dr. Rashidul Haq is Associate Professor of Accounting and Finance, outstanding Fellow of Faculty of Business, Accounting, Finance, Law and Humanity at Masa University, Malaysia. He has more than 30 plus years of experience in academic and corporate. Dr. Haq contributed in research publication in the top journals and participated in international and national conferences, having in his credit more than 265 plus research articles and 2 books out of 110 plus research articles published in Scopus, ISI, Book Chapter, and pursuing to publish more research papers in near future. His area of interest in strategic management accounting, corporate finance, entrepreneurship, and service quality in tourism. He is approved faculty from MQA Malaysia. Delivered lectures as keynote speaker in various international conferences, namely Malaysia, India, and other places. ICSAT Institute, the Institute of Economic Development and Social Research, Turkey, awarded Outstanding Scientist Award 13th ICSAT 2022 Commission for Outstanding Scientific Performance. Award received as Icon of India 2023. Academic Achievement Award for Contribution in Management and Gurukul's Bharat Gaurav Purashkar 2023, India. Received Global Innovation, Excellence and Research Award on 14th July 2024. World Achievers Summit and Award honored for excellence in research on 20th July 2024. His account having 1 patent in the year 2024. He serves for community services as a member of board editors, reviewers, supervisors for PhD thesis and evaluator from global and affiliated in different associations and organizations around the world. It's our pleasure to have the chief guest of honor, Dr. Rashidul Haq, today. Sir, we are delighted to hear from your valuable thoughts. May I request Dr. Rashidul Haq to address the gathering. Sir, please.
Yeah, I think only one slide has been changed. Yeah. Yes. Velachery. Namaskar and Assalamu Alaikum. The meaning of Salam, that means Almighty has to bless all of you. This is the meaning of the Assalamu Alaikum. Everyone should bless by Almighty. I am a Dr. Rashidul Haq, Associate Professor from Masa University, Malaysia. When I come to know that this conference is going to organize and Director Dr. K. Uma Devi approached me, so really I should thankful to her has been given an opportunity to talk about that. That is a very important topic, and this is a field also for especially for Indian concern, political and the geographical, and as well as the GDP development also. That is important for us. Last 14 and 15 years, I am involved in Malaysia, and mostly I am teaching to our Chinese students, African students, Gulf students, even Indian and Pakistani and Bangladeshi also, so many students they are studying. But why I observed that one, I have chosen this one for the opportunities and challenges, the expansion of China's cross-border e-commerce market in the post-pandemic area. All of you know, during the COVID period, 2020 January and 31st December 2019, all they are celebrating New Year, and nobody knows from the next day having a COVID. And that pandemic is, it is called the COVID-19. And sudden having a lockdown in China only for one place, Wuhan. And around the world it was open, and that is no issue. But from January, February, March, it was so dramatic and changes there in the economics. And 18 March, lockdown has been started from around the world, and China has been open, Wuhan opened their economy. And April, May, June, it was totally locked down around the world. But China has been open their economy, and the GDP has been started, and they are going to supply the goods around the world. This is important for cross-border e-commerce. That's why this title is very important. Why not we should be there? And we are behind. That's why I am taking this topic and having a very good work and research also. So we are going to see this is the situation. You are going to move. They are moving or not moving? Okay. So next you can continue to the next. Okay. So this is having for maybe this light also can, yeah. This light also can off, yeah. That. Then you can see the figure, because I have a latest figure also for 2018 to 2025. The GDP of the China is going to grow massively. And yesterday I come to news that now their GDP is very high, but our country GDP is not moving that level. Our youth having as a dividend for a future, but the problem of we are having opportunities. Our manufacturing sector is totally not going to achieve, and most of the young people are trying to migrate from India to different countries, and we saw the very bad news, most of the people are deporting from the US. This is the one of the reason, because our manufacturing sector is not performing like that. How we have to support all the young people, those who are going to complete the education, what they will do in a future. There is no vision. Studying is the different, and knowledge getting is the different, but how you are going to contribute to the nation, every individual having a responsibility. So that's why we did this study, and study was so important in the concept of the China, but we should correlate to our India, how we have to perform for future for the manufacturing sectors. This is important. Like China having a e-commerce border free. When you are giving an order, Any online order in a Malaysia, Thailand, Indonesia, even Myanmar, so that goods is coming from China and they are going to open each and every one. China also having a population. They are saying some argument in India, oh, we have so much population, that's why we will not develop. That is not the good argument. We are going to save ourselves. The China also having the same population, and now China is become more developed countries and giving a competition to the America and Japan. That population. When I was I remember 1981, 82, when I was a high school and 10+2 level, our teachers say, oh, China is a very poor country. I'm talking about 1980, 81, 82, like that. Very poor country. The economy has not been opened. It is not globalized. And height was also very short. When we see the Haqiqat movie, Dharmendra, 1962, having Indo-China war, you can see having most of the Chinese looks like a very small, in by height also. But now, what is the changes in a 40 years, 45 years, China is coming very high in a GDP. Each and every students, those who are studying individual, they are having a own cottage industry. They are producing one item and they are supplying through the world. But sometimes having a slogan of also for the China goods. What is the slogan? China mal chale to. All of you know, that is a slogan having, if the goods is China mal hai, chale to chand tak, nahi to sham tak. This is the slogan. But China having a one quality, they are producing product according to their country requirement. If America having, so their product like that standard quality. If the products need India, they have to provide product like that because they are saying their paying capacity is not no much higher. This is important. Africa, Gulf, Asian countries fully depend upon China product. If they will stop the manufacturing, all this cantonment and this area is totally collapsed. Gulf countries, Africa, Asian, India, China, you can see Pakistan, Bangladesh, like that. But in India can survive because they are having a little manufacturing sector. So our concept having, why not we have to start our cross-border e-commerce marketing free zone. We are number one crore having Bangladesh. If we can start our manufacturing hub in India, we will become a number one superpower in manufacturing. Because I know Pakistan and Bangladesh don't have a capacity to manufacture all the things, only India having a manufacturing capabilities. And they have to supply. E-commerce means they are having so many things. You can show the framework, conceptual framework. Yeah. So for manufacturing means every individual having opportunity, they have to provide. They have to produce one item to supply this area. Even Gulf also depend upon the Indian product they have to like in compared to the China product. Africa also we have, China is going to start to make a transportation logistic. You can see the demand, international trade and logistic, everywhere having a scope, not only for the manufacturing. Every sector the people can involve. So entrepreneurship is a very important because everyone should think if we have to produce, we can survive. You cannot blame to the government, and government can give the service all the time to the either the private sectors and the government sector. You should think how we have to provide our job opportunity to others. If you are become as an entrepreneur, definitely these are the field is there. You can create the demand. You supply the goods through all this country, and everyone should get involved. No need to go for the donkey route to the US, spending 45 lakhs and finally have to deport it and come back, and the family and their parents are having a huge debt. But our policy should change. We should not politically, we have to see how we have to open our border. Today we are thinking they are the enemy. Why? We have to open our border. That enemy should become as a friend, and we have to supply the goods. That how much your defense expenditure is going to reduce, because no need to fear from the enemy, because they are become as a friend. And every Indian can supply goods. These area, Asian also. You know the quality of the Singapore for e-commerce? Singapore is not going to buy any goods from China. Singapore only they have to buy goods from Japan and America and Europe. That other things, all Japan and America, some of the company having in China to produce, and they have to supply, because China having a liberal policy for the labor, liberal policy for the taxes. So that's why most of the companies are going to establish. In a COVID, it is the news was there, most of the companies are coming from the China to going to different, so many companies come to the Bangladesh. Only 1 or 2 company came to the India, because India having the rule and regulation is the different, it is not the friendly. So we should think about manufacturing, and definitely all Indians, those who are getting education or not having education also, they should think the cottage industry to supply. Even they are having a student, those who are doing MBA and PhD, they are having one company at home. They have to produce door, maybe one qabza, maybe they have to produce one screwdriver, one small things, and they are supplying around the world. Even they are producing our God also, and they are supplying to us. And we are keeping at home our Chinese God, Chinese manufacture to our God. Every religious, not for Hindus, Christian, Muslim, everything they are producing. Why not we have to produce to supply our neighbor countries? Having a more population, GDP will going to become a more important. That's why this research is having important. Why not? And that conference also is a very important. E-commerce, they are giving a platform. The government should think how we have to make a good relationship to provide our Indian to become as a manufacturing hub as India. I know around 1980, 85, 90, Delhi was the very hub market for this duplicate item. Everyone say we have to buy the duplicate item from the Delhi. Original company, that is the different, but all the duplicate manufacturing having in Delhi. But now everything is collapsed. So many people are jobless because there is no opportunities. Delhi market of manufacturing is totally finished. If one company is going to close, that means you are going to affect 10 families. And 10 families, if you don't have a capacity to purchasing power, how can you sustain like that? Most of the international companies you can see, they are looking India. India having a good youth dividend. Population. CEO of Apple is coming to here. CEO of everyone want to establish a company here. What for? Because India is a big market, and youth having, we have to gain something like that. They are looking their profit. But you know, in India, only the 10% to 15% having a purchasing capacity. 85% middle class and from their lower don't have a capacity to buy all the things. They are going to survive because they don't have a money. If you don't have a money, what population you are going to keep, that is totally waste. You have to think like that. You should not be constrained about, you know, I want to do this. You have to produce, you have to establish. In a small level, you can start the manufacturing and do some business, whatever the activity having. Now having so many fields for the, you can open your as an entrepreneurship activities like that. December, I went to Dehradun DBS University for having a special 3 days for my series lecture. I noticed in a Dehradun, every 2 and 3 shops having a barber and saloon. Every in the market. After 2 and 3, you can see one saloon in Dehradun. And that saloon is called as a uniques, both sex, male and female. I really appreciate that one. Because this is the demand is coming like that. Previously, only female has to go to the beauty salon and they have to go for the parlor. But now, male also is going. That's why opportunity is there. If any event, anything, male also is going for the makeup and for these other things. So opportunity is coming in a different way also. If you are going to open one shop, you are going to provide 2 and 3 as a supporting for the employee. So every Indian has to think like that. Having so many way you can think and you can produce. You should not depend from all the time we have to get finished goods from the China and from other countries. We are not going to buy. We are mostly China, they are having a more export to India in compared to India having a very less supporting to the export to China. And they achieved 19 billion this year just now, one data came, but our India, where is? Our policy, our mind setup. So why not we have to think like that, having every international trade, logistic, and that e-commerce, broad e-commerce market is a very important. We have to go for that. Then I'm going to for the conclusion, having some research design and everything, we have to go for the theoretical portion, but we come to know that now our hypothesis having everything has been demand and e-commerce, if you have to do, definitely it will support and support it from my study. You come to the discussion and result. So all the time we support our Indian people, either here and there, because I getting experience from there. Every Chinese student, they are having one industry, one cottage industry. They are going, just 2 days before I saw they are going to give a competition to Elon Musk, Tesla car also, and what they produce, it is making a huge change. And for AI, just now all of you know what they have to develop for, what is the Chinese AI? DeepSeek. So this is the DeepSeek. They are giving a challenge, and Trump is going restricted for this AI. And India is the most important for the IT field. They don't have such type of AI. Only intellectual having in India. And I will say all of you, the Indian education policy is the #1 around the world. They have to recognize, they have to say, oh, from India, that means he is having a very good quality of the education. Other Only to the point they have to study and go for the examination and finish. And sometimes you have to ask 1 semester and 2 semesters, oh sir, I forget it. So this such type of benefit, whatever having in this region, we have to use, and we should become as a manufacturing to provide and will show all the thing. So our second hypothesis also, international trade and e-commerce, like a cross-border e-commerce also has been supported. So Indian also, if you are going to change our policy, definitely one day every Indian having their own company, their own product, either you are going to start very small, but the policy you have to change. Policy should be liberal. Don't have you have to keep the transparency. Don't have any bribe combination. The problem of here, every Indian, oh, I should become an IAS, I should become an IPS, I have to earn a lot of amount. That is a misconcept having. The youth should come to change to the society. Every month, every 2-3 months, one delegates coming from India, so many universities, students coming to Malaysia, my universities, so we have to conduct the immersion program. Visiting to companies, showing all the infrastructure, and also I am going to say you have to think and prepare your report, what you observed. In whole Malaysia, if you have to travel, you cannot find on a red light any police. No police. No traffic police on a red light whole Malaysia. Even in night, 12 o'clock, when you are coming and if you see having a red light, they will stop. Nobody is coming from left, right, front, but they will stop when it will come to the green, then they have to move. In a night, 2 o'clock also. So dedication, advocacy, rule and regulation, you have to honestly to follow. If you want to go for the license renewal, within a 10 minutes in a one counter, having a 30 counters, 40 counters, you go to a token and within a 10 minutes your number will come. In a one counter, within a 10 minutes, your road tax, your license, everything, one employee, and mostly the ladies working in 90% in the government and the private organization. 90%. So these are the things we have to learn. Then I am saying my students, those who are coming, you have to see when you are in a future coming into the power, you have to change. If you are having a capacity, definitely one person want to change the society, they can. I'm openly saying, if MK Gandhi didn't come from the South Africa, India would not get the freedom in 1947. Only by MK Gandhi. He came from South Africa to struggle here, then he started the Congress and he became the member of the Congress and he has taken initiative to freedom. Then the people are joining Jawaharlal Nehru and these are the peoples like that. But after that, no MK Gandhi like came. This Gen Z, you have to see what the action they have taken in Bangladesh. All of you know last August. They remove all the things. Because here also need such type of people to think about India, how should become as a hub of the manufacturing. And 100% devotee for the nations. This is important. That's why we are taking this one. Sorry. So we have to see our implication. You go to the next implication. That means manage the analysis of whatever information you are getting, you have to try to manage and you have to impose by yourself. You take your initiative. This is important. Help to identify the applications. Whatever our applications having, always you try to help. You should not go for the shortcut like that. So many people are saying our politicians are so corrupted, bureaucrats are so corrupted. This is the phrase coming from around the world, around the India like that. Here so much corruption. No. People are more corrupted. Indian people are more corrupted because they are looking shortcut route. They are going to give chances to them, okay, you have to complete my work, I should not stand in the queue, you take this amount and you have to do my work. People are more corrupted. Don't say blame to the politician, to bureaucrats, because we are giving a privilege to them to do like that and they have become the habitual. It's very strange. We are going to elect our people as a representative from that area, and after that he is not winning, and after that he is not responsible for that area, how they have to develop. So many people like going to start as an educational institution. That is good also, because they are education giving. Education is going to impart for the people and they have to think about that. Still 60% Indian people, and especially female in a remote area, need a good quality education. Should come forward. And it is our responsibility, the new generation responsibility, how we have to train them to come forward to think what is the good, what is the wrong. On this way, we are going to see so many having advantages of market expansion. We look forward, should become as a neighbor, as a friend, not neighbor as an enemy. We are spending a huge amount for defense. What is the meaning? Nothing, will not get anything. If you will make a neighbor, become a friend, you should not fear that, and you have to save that money and you have to divert for the manufacturing, and you have to give the privilege to Indian people. Malaysia having a one good policy for the student, those who are, they are not so rich people. Their salary also is not so much high, but they are having, everyone is going to work. And you can surprise whatever the population of the Malaysia, they are having a more than cars. More than cars. If one family having a 4 people, 5 people, husband, wife, 2 and 3 children, everyone having their own car, and apart from having a 1 and 2 big car to go weekend to celebrate. Husband also working, wife also working, son, daughter, whatever, everyone working, and there is no ego what type of work they have to do it. Some of going to work in a shopping mall as a sweeper also, airport as a sweeper, they are coming by car, they have to perform their duty, and at evening they are going to sit in the KFC and McDonald's to take their dinner, because they are not going to incorporate profession and the personal life. Profession is the different, what nature of the job is there, that is different, my personal life is the different. That's why you cannot find any Malaysian is migrating any other countries. Only who is going to migrate? India, Bangladesh, Pakistan, China. China is migrating only for the business point of view. They are going to establish the companies in other countries, not for working. But only these 3, only one reason is there, they are migrating. Because all the 3 people, 3 countries having in the same soil, same mentality and same thinking. They don't want to do the hard work. They want to go for the shortcut. An example for, you can see the Haryana, Punjab, about 20,000, they have to shortlisted a Trump, we have to deport India. Those who are spent 40, 45 lakhs. They have to start from their own unit also, own small shop also. So these are the words we have to say. Our having some market expansion is a very important. We have to think forward. For this, I am thankful, and I am concluding my presentation like that. So all of you, be think in a positive. Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate to the sir and Dr. K. Uma Devi, they are invited. And I have given a platform, and every person you have to think for future, how you are going to help to the people and change the society. This is important. You should not sit, others should come to change yourself. You have to take your action like that. Thank you very much. No, I have taken 20 minutes. No? Okay.
Thank you, sir, for your very insightful address on cross-border e-commerce market and the opportunities left untapped which India can capitalize on. I now invite Dr. R. Rama, Organizing Committee Member and Deputy Dean, Academics, to introduce our guest of honor, Mr. G.R. Rajesh, General Manager, Kerala Medical Technology Consortium.
Thank you, ma'am. A pleasure morning to one and all present here. I'm indeed privileged to introduce Mr. Rajesh Girija Ramesan to the August gathering. Mr. Rajesh is a professional with 28 years of experience in sales and marketing, project management, international and domestic markets, and business consulting. He has headed the international and national marketing and sales administration of Terumo Blood and Cell Technologies, the transfusion division of the Japanese MNC, Terumo Corporation Japan, the global leader in transfusion, cardiology, and general medicine. He is currently the General Manager of Marketing of Kerala Medical Technology Consortium, a Government of Kerala initiative tasked with the vision of establishing Kerala as the medical devices manufacturing hub of India on a global scale over the next 10 years. He is a mentor to many companies in Kerala and outside, mentor and key resource to medtech screening and mentoring committees for Kerala Startup Mission and the Young Innovator Programs of Kerala Development Innovation Strategic Council, and an entrepreneur himself, owning companies in the medtech and nutraceutical space. His areas of expertise include global healthcare, medical service devices, transfusion, clinical apheresis, bio-life sciences, and regulatory. He is an alumni of Loyola School, Trivandrum, and has a bachelor's degree in physics from Mar Evanius College, Trivandrum, and in law from Law Academy, Trivandrum, and an MBA specializing in marketing from Madurai Kamaraj University. Currently, he is awaiting his open defense for his PhD on biobehavior models in the health sector. Our best wishes, sir. He has got professional experience in healthcare medical devices industry and blood transfusion in both international and domestic markets. He has traveled widely for implementation of on-site healthcare customer projects across Latin America, US, Europe, Asia, and across India. He has headed the legal and regulatory departments fulfilling country-specific requirements. He is a certified internal auditor for CE, OSHA's, and ISO norms. He is instrument in handling the patents and also the transition of individual patents. He is a visiting faculty and resource person for MBA programs in marketing and sales, corporate governance, and corporate law. He brings in his rich industry experience within the academic curriculum to the students. He is an invigilator for VIP screenings of business ideas in medtech and also mentors a lot of medtech startups. Thank you very much for the opportunity given to introduce such an eminent personality. Sir, thank you for accepting our invitation to be the guest of honor. Your gracious presence adds value to our international conference. Looking forward to hear from you, sir. I now invite Mr. Rajesh to deliver his special address. Thank you.
morning. Good morning, everyone. Dignitaries in the audience, faculty, students, members of the media, thank you very much for the opportunity. I'm not an academician myself, but I work very closely with academia and the research side. I'm more of a practitioner. So today I'm not here to talk about theory, but I will only talk about the practical side of things. So 30 years of my life I have spent doing research, designing medical products, strategizing and selling these products. So when I heard the topic that Dr. Uma Devi sent across of impact of climate changes in cross-border commerce and the factor of sustainability, this is something that the government of Kerala is very valuedly looking at and working on. So I will talk about practical experiences. 20 minutes is all I have, but I'll stick and try and finish it earlier so that we can hear from Mr. Lamba as well. Can I have the first slide? I normally like to have the control in my hands, but I am dependent on you. I'll look forward to the first slide. Can I have the first slide, please? Okay. Before we talk about sustainability in medical devices and practices, I think it's better that we set a context because everything is money. So commerce is about money, commercialization. Now, you need to look at what are the opportunities out there before you design something, before you do research on something, before you translate that research into an usable product. The market for global medical devices industry is huge. It's kind of like 300 billion. So these are estimates of 2022. It should be right now around 540 billion right now. Largest medical device area is what we generally call as in vitro diagnostics. Nothing. What you go to every lab and test your sugar, pressure, all these things. This is the largest area. People earn a lot of money from that. The second largest area is cardiology. It's your heart. Any problem you have, that's where they make money from. But the fastest growing area is neurology. Anything related to your brain. But this is not the interesting fact in the commerce. Traditionally, the big companies and big players in medical devices have been concentrated in Europe, US, and Japan. US is basically the hub of all medical devices. Almost 70% of all innovation, medical device manufacturing, research happens there. All the top companies have their presence there. But right now, they are facing a crisis. Their markets have become saturated, costs have gone high, they are looking for other markets. Traditionally, they went to China. My predecessor, professor, who spoke about the theory and the Chinese aspect, we had a norm that Chinese products were not good, but that's completely wrong. They are there now. They worked so hard to get there, and we have to acknowledge that. But China is getting costlier. It is a norm of commerce, which you already know, and economics. They are now looking at the final frontier, and the final frontier is India. Why India? Can I have the next slide? We talked about the global medical device industry, 530 billion US dollars. Compared to that, the Indian medical device industry is a pygmy. It's just 14 billion, which is roughly around 2.5% of the global medical market. We import 75% of all medical devices that we use in this country. So anything, you go to a hospital, 75% of what they test and use on you is imported from abroad. We manufacture only 25%. And we are recognized as a manufacturer of worst quality of medical devices across the world. Now, there is a reason for that. Basically, because until 2017, this country did not have any regulations for medical devices, which meant that if I wanted to start a company and manufacture, I can do it just now. I just need a small building, 2,000 square feet of building, I can start. No regulation. There are no rules. You just need to put a certificate, you can get a certificate, you can start. What that meant was, I could manufacture as per my will, no quality regulation, nothing. What cost applies to me, I'll do the manufacturing accordingly. That has impacted the quality aspect of Indian medical device products. But 2017, the government of India has brought in for the first time, the Medical Devices Regulation Act under the Drugs and Cosmetic Act, which was actually framed 1 year before our independence. So that is that old. But anyway, better late than never, now we have regulatory. But it will still take another 15, 20 years before they start regulating medical devices because the regulator does not know about medical devices. Medical devices, unlike pharma, is not just chemistry. Medical devices is actually an amalgam of different sciences. So to design a product, you need an electrical engineer, you need a mechanical engineer, you need a refrigeration guy, you need a fluidics guy. And above all, you also need commercial guys. So it's a different field. People don't understand. But the good thing is, we are the final frontier. People have to come here to sell. The rest of the markets are now saturated. The second thing that we have is people who are sitting here. Very high quality research institutions, academics, and students. We bring out so many talented people which are in demand. They won't work here, they'll go abroad and work. So if you look at the top medtech companies, top pharma companies around the globe, you will have an Indian at the top. And hundreds of people working under him who are from India. Can I have the next slide? Now, having said that, let me come to the topic, sustainability here. That's what we are talking about in this conference over the next 2 days. Predominantly, every equipment or device manufactured for medical purpose uses plastics. There are several reasons for that. So I've just put down some names of plastic-made medical devices. You must recognize some of these. If somebody has donated blood, blood bags. Syringes are the most common things which you see. You have catheters. Any surgery you do, you need a catheter. IV fluid bags, implants which you go into your spine, hand, anywhere. Diagnostic kits and surgical. Everything has plastic. The plastics that are used in medical devices is valued at $14 billion in India alone. Remember, India's total medical device market is only around 14 billion. The entire medical device market uses plastics. What are the main segments of plastics used? Rigid plastics. Rigid plastics are nothing but what you see in specific. So if you see a BP monitor, it is made of plastics. That is rigid plastic. That holds 71% of the market. The rest of the market is soft plastic, which are things like small IV fluid lines, blood bags, which are very soft. That's the basic thing. Can I have the next slide? Plastics in medical devices have distinct advantages, but also disadvantages. A few advantages. Enhanced patient safety is one, because many of these things are one-time use. You know, you use a syringe, throw it away. You use an IV fluid line, throw it away. It's very easy. No contamination, nothing. Improved functionality. That's basically because you can mold this plastic any way you want. Plastic is a wonder material. You put it through heat, you put it through sterilization, you put it to what? It will retain its shape just like that. It's very durable. Mass production and accessibility. Because plastic is so cheap, everyone can access plastics. It's quite easily available. You can just buy it off and sell. Medical grade plastic, you can get any type of plastic. It's actually medical grade plastic is actually a component of petroleum industry. Just get it off the shelf. Chemical resistance. So you store a lot of things in plastic-made medical devices. IV fluids, blood bags. These are sterilized. It's open to sterilization. It doesn't easily get, it has got a great chemical resistance. Now what are the disadvantages? You know all these very, very easily, but I'll just quickly go through it. It's non-biodegradable. It takes hundreds of years for the medical plastic waste to get destroyed. Toxicity. So if you store your blood in a blood bag, from the first second that you store the blood, plastic starts leaching into the blood. Whom do you give blood to? People who are dying. So somebody who does not have blood is receiving your blood. And this blood is in a blood bag. You think it's safe. It stays safe for 28 days. No, it doesn't. Plastic starts leaching into this blood from the first second you store blood. We don't know. We have put it under limits. We say if it is under this limit, this is okay, start using it. It creates a hell of a lot of microplastic pollution. You cannot get away from it. It poses a huge waste management challenge. Can I have the next slide, please? Some environmental factors as well, I'll quickly mention. Medical plastic accumulation, normal thing to do, easiest thing to do, use it as landfills. It will remain there. It is okay for us because the average age in Kerala for a male is 72 years and an average age for a female is 78 years. Ho gaya? We are gone, baki you can take care. So landfills, it will remain there. We are not, because we are safe, no, we are dead and gone. We are just burnt and gone. The other easiest part, throw it in the ocean. It goes from Pacific to Atlantic, Atlantic to Indian Ocean, from Indian Ocean to Arctic, come back to the Indian Ocean. It still remains in the ocean. You burn plastic, it will emit toxins. Hospitals across the world, in India, clinics across the world, in our houses, we burn plastic. And we go near, and then we look at the plastic, inhale the fumes, without knowing that your chances of getting cancer is increased by 75%. And we have very limited recycling options for plastic. What they normally do is take the medical grade for making of chappals. But even then, it emits toxins. Next slide, please. Having said that, is the world completely unaware of this? Are they not doing anything? Yes, they are doing. This initiative against plastics in medical devices is actually driven by UN. It's a program called SHIP. SHIP is, you know, right? It's a boat. It's a huge boat. But this SHIP has a different spelling. S, H, small I, and 2 P's. We normally put 2 or more P's to increase a couple of P's in there in the hope that people will start doing something. Anyway, SHIP is a global initiative. It's called Sustainable Health in Procurement of Products. So they realized start using lesser plastics. Instead, they went to the user. They said, okay, if you are buying plastic, make sure you reduce plastic-made medical devices by segments. That naturally puts a pressure on the medical device manufacturer. So it is run by the United Nations Development Program and the Health Without Harm Program, HCWH. What are their focus areas? Reduce hazardous substances, improve research efficiency, promote green supply chains. I'll just quickly tell you what it is, and minimize healthcare waste. Everything related to healthcare. Without knowing, making you healthier is actually making someone less healthy. That's the point behind all this. Actually, even though this program was launched around 25 years back, there are only 17 countries who have signed this. And of the 17 countries, India is a signatory. And lo and behold, we have not done much against this. But still, we are making a point. Can I have the next slide? So these are just key goals of the SHIP program. Eliminate and reduce toxic and non-toxic medical biodegradable materials. Sustainable procurement policies in hospitals and healthcare. Encourage innovation in medical technology. And develop a circular economy. Circular economy, I'll just explain. I'm not going to dwell on these with more theory on this. I'll show you practical examples, pictures. I'm not taking time. The target stakeholders are healthcare providers, that is the hospitals, clinicians, policymakers, people in the government, medical device manufacturers. You can't go directly and tell them, but they will have to listen if it is coming from people who buy them. Then suppliers and waste management agencies. Do you know that there is a rule in government tenders for buying medical devices that if you have a tender for 10,000, let's say, blood bags, it's plastic and it comes in boxes. It's all waste. So if you have 10 tons of waste associated with this, the person procuring these 10 tons of products has to offset this waste by buying waste from another organization and helping disseminate it in a more practical, but no one follows it. There is a law. Can I have the next slide? Having said that, I am here representing, Madam called me only because I have this badge. That's basically because I work for the Government of Kerala. I worked for 25 years in the corporate world, helping a Japanese company design products, do research, and then later they said, you have designed and researched on the product, now go and sell it. Don't sit here and talk. So I went and sold. I did that for 25 years. After that, the Government of Kerala saw me. They told me, you come here. We have some kind of a program looking at medical devices. As Madam was explaining in my curriculum vitae, looking at Kerala being the medtech leader in 10 years. So that's why I am here. So I have to talk about Kerala. Otherwise, I'm not going to get a leave today. So, yeah, on duty. I've got an on duty. So, but jokes apart, Kerala is traditionally a very different state. I was telling sir in the morning when we were having He offered me a cup of coffee, but I didn't. Denying a cup of coffee in Chennai is something like going to death. But I still denied because I had 2 cups of coffees in the morning thanks to your guest house, sir. So Kerala, I was just telling him, is the only state which alters between communists and Congress. You know that very well, right? We have been around for so many years, 65 or 70 years. 5 years the Congress rules, 5 years the communist rules. But over the last 10 years, we have given the communists the mandate to rule for 10 years together. So communists are generally against capitalism. I feared as much. But to my surprise, they called me and said, do this program whereby we want to make Kerala the hub of medical devices manufacturing in the country. So I said, kaise hoga? How is it going to happen? I didn't understand. So even though I was in the medtech field for 30 years, I didn't know that Kerala had a background in medical devices. So they asked me, what do you want? So I said, what do you mean? Paisa kitna chahiye? How much money do you need to build the infrastructure? So I said, let me just take stock, then come back to you and tell you what is required. So I went back because I didn't know anything. I went back and learned. There are 85 companies in Kerala manufacturing medical devices. Now these are registered with the Drugs Controller General. Total turnover of these medical device companies is 9,720 crores, or in foreign language, 1.05 billion US dollars. That is not the figures actually tell you a lot of things. 20%, this 9,700 crores or 1.05 billion is 20% of India's total medical device manufacturing, which for a state of Kerala, which is just a strip of land, is quite amazing. And we are very highly critical about our states. You don't have to criticize us, we will criticize ourselves. We will tell nothing will happen in Kerala. That's for sure. So move around, talk to 2 Malayalis, they will tell you, get out of that place, nothing will happen there. But things are happening there. So I was surprised that 20% of India's medtech manufacturing is happening in Kerala. So then I found there are 36 research and academic institutions doing work in medical devices. But as usual, they were doing the research, taking a doctor badge, putting it outside their houses, keeping the research papers in the desk, closing it. Ho gaya. I am doctor of philosophy, I am doctor of medtech research. I am also doing that. Hopefully I don't end up like that. But then I found an institution in Kerala called the Sri Chitra Institute of Medical Sciences, which is today the National Nodal Agency for Medical Devices, doing translational research. What is translational research? Research that you do get translated to end products which can be used by common people. World over, medical device translational research ratio is 15%. Sri Chitra's ratio is 30%. Because it is from Kerala, we don't talk about it. We don't appreciate it. But anyway, Kerala has a long history in medical device manufacturing. 100% of this industry is MSME focused. These are not large companies. So these are organically grown companies which have been around for 30 to 40 years. And 45% of 9,700 crores is actually exported, which meant that the global quality levels of products manufactured, medtech products manufactured in Kerala are appealing to the global audience. Can I have the next slide, please? Now, before I talk about this slide, I have to talk about one more thing. You must have seen Kerala in the map of India, right? India is kind of like this and it goes like this, right? So Kerala is right here. It's a small strip of land. On one side, you have the ocean, beautiful ocean. On the other side, you have mountains. So 45% of this narrow strip of land is mountains. And we have around 7,200 species of biodiverse, highly endangered species in these mountains. What is remaining between the land and the sea is a very narrow strip of land which holds the largest, highly densely populated region in the country. There are a huge number of people. And we are now also getting in more people from outside because we don't do work there. We don't believe in doing work. So when the government of Kerala asked me to look at this program, they told me 2 things. You come up with a strategy. Very good. You ask us for money. We are not very rich. We are not getting money from the center, but we'll still give you money. But whatever strategy you come up with, have it in mind that you don't touch the environment. Anything that you do has to be sustainable. So you bring in investment, but not at the cost of sustainability. So I said, how will I do this? I'm not a magician. So but then again, I went back and looked at data. In commerce, data is much important, madam. I have not studied commerce. So in my olden days, you were either forced to become a doctor or an engineer. Anything other than that, you were a waste. Now I tell my daughter this, she will tell me, you are mad. because she is pursuing archaeology. So I am running around trying to figure out what is archaeology. So when I looked at Kerala's existing medtech industry of the 85 companies, I found that 45% of that is already using sustainable material. We use rubber products. It didn't come by accident. We are one of the largest producers of rubber in the country. And we use rubber products for doing the circular economy in medical devices. Then we produce a lot of engineers. How? We send all our children to Tamil Nadu, they study here, become engineers, come back and say we don't have a job. And then they go abroad. But yet a lot of engineers work there. In fact, the first IT park in the country was there in Trivandrum, the Techno Park. But today, we are nowhere. In fact, that was actually set up by a communist government. So anyway, lo and behold, 45% of our industry is already sustainable. So I said, this is good. The government already has a vision. They are asking me to continue the vision, not asking me to reinvent the wheel. Very happy. And today, madam brought this subject. Very happy because it is already in the pipeline. Third is a new thing that we proposed, assistive technology. Assistive technology is nothing. This is assistive technology because it is assisting you to see. Anything that helps you do away with a disability is assistive technology. It can be a cane, it can be this thing, it can be a high-tech device which will, if you are blind, it will tell you don't step on these stairs, you will fall down. AI, you are telling about AI, sir. So we took AI, assistive technology, basically because Kerala is the fastest aging state in the country. While you are all getting younger, we are getting older. And because of our healthcare and focus on healthcare, we live a little longer. Women live until 78 years of age, men will suffer till 72 years of age. After that, we die. So we wanted to have a policy on assistive technology. The third side was states like Chennai, Karnataka, Andhra, Telangana, Gujarat, Haryana, they were all getting the big companies into their states. Poor Kerala, they are not getting anybody. Basically because we are, as I told you, we are the biggest critics and we'll tell them nothing happens here, so no company comes there. We found that the only industry that has no competition is assistive technology. No one wants old people, but we want them. So we will focus on assistive technology. Can I have the next slide, please? So all this talk is good. I will go now in another 5-10 minutes. But what is a talk without a proper strategy? Because that is what we were asked to come up with. I heard from madam and the other colleagues that you focus on Japanese learning and you also encourage people to learn Japanese. I spent 25 years of my life with Japanese. The one thing with Japanese is, if you have to get to the Japanese, be one of them. If you tell them, send them a message in English, they will translate it and reply back to you in Japanese, which we have to translate into whatever language we speak and understand. Who knows what they told you, what you understood, you reply back, they'll think you are a stupid guy. But anyway, lo and behold, this is actually a Japanese instrument. This is an instrument used by management people in setting out a plan. Japanese are very well known for their visual control systems because what you tell in 300 pages, they can show you in a slide. This is actually a 10-year roadmap for the medtech in Kerala, which we prepared in a Japanese format. This is actually called the Japanese lunchbox. Why Japanese would like to arrange everything? They eat very good food, they eat very small portions, but they arrange it very beautifully in a lunchbox. If you look at a Japanese lunchbox, you won't eat it. You will take a picture and put it into your phone as a status and say, I have actually standing with a Japanese lunchbox. But this is actually a Japanese lunch. So if you look at the left corner, in 2023, I have written where Kerala stands today. 2032 is where we have to go. That's the slope. We are not rolling down, we are rolling up. You know, in Kerala, we have to roll up because we are highly critical of ourselves. So we put a milestone in between in 2027. From 1.05 billion, we are planning to go to 4.20 billion. Today we have 85 companies, we are aiming at 700 companies. Today we have 350 startups, we are aiming at 3,500 startups. These are good numbers, but we have to work towards that. What is our vision? Make Kerala the hub of medtech by 2032. But we also put another vision. We said we will become the top 20 globally, one among the top 20 also globally. How are we going to do that? By not putting in more money, we'll just break down silos, encourage people to come together and talk. So in Kerala, we have everything, but we won't talk to each other. So Sri Chitra will do its own research, Rajiv Gandhi Center for Biotechnology will do its research, but they won't tell each other. They will do the same brain stimulation research time and again and come and present 2 papers. Deep brain stimulation device. Sri Chitra, RGCB. Wasted 20 years of scientific time. So we are selling breakdown, come together and do. So our future vision is to focus on medical electronics, medical rubber, and assistive technology sustainably and create 139,000 well-paid jobs, because this requires a highly skilled job. This is, and we are talking about made in Kerala. Hopefully in 10 years' time, people including me, when I would be old by then, will not criticize Kerala, will tell Kerala that I'm a product of Kerala, hopefully. So we are looking at global quality from Kerala. So that is a snapshot of what we are looking at. Can I have the next slide? Now, today the topic is not this. I gave you a prelude of sustainability, why Kerala looked at medical device and medical devices. Why did Kerala look at medical devices? Because of 2 reasons. One, we don't have space. We don't have large acres. People say industry does not come to Kerala. Kerala is known as God's own country, and we sell tourism. It is already there, na? Seashores, backwaters, everything. Just ask people to come. You come there, you stay in a hotel, look out of the window, madam, there is global tourism. We earn money. That's what we are doing. But we don't have space for large industries. But we do have space for medtech industries. Medtech industries require very little space. In 5,000 square feet of area, you can put up a medtech industry which does 5 crores worth of turnover every year. And you can go top to bottom. It need not go horizontally. You can go vertically. So in a 10-story building, you can have 10 companies. Or if you have 100,000 square feet, you can have 20 companies doing 5 crore worth of business each. Second, and the most important reason, medical devices manufacturing is one of the least polluting industries in the world. Almost 95% is non-polluting. So that's the reason why the government focused on medical devices. Now, have we done anything? So if I don't say that, this is nothing. This is just a talk. I will go away, you will go away, focus on the rest of the session. Yes, we have done some things. You heard about urine bags? Very depleting products. Urine bags, it's a waste, right? But every surgery that you do, you are connected to a urine bag through a catheter, all made of plastic. We decided over the last 2 years that we will do some research and try and do something about taking out plastic from urine bags as a first step, because this product need not be sterilized, because it's outside the human body and it's not directly connected to the body, it's only connected to a catheter. But it's very important. We produce a lot of rubber. So we went to the largest rubber producer in Asia after Malaysia. That was Harrison's Malayalam Limited, which is an RP Goenka group company, which has been in the state of Kerala for the last 45 years. We told them, you have rubber. We tested their rubber, it is medical grade. We told them, why don't you come up with a product which can substitute rubber, plastic. So they came up with probably the world's first urine bag made of natural rubber. Now the problem with rubber is, it is opaque, you cannot see through it, because of the proteins in rubber. Then we went to the rubber board. They have a huge research facility. We told them, what are you doing here for the last 50 years? Take out these proteins from the rubber and give us a very good rubber sheet. They came up with a rubber sheet which is transparent. So we have now launched this in December. Hopefully in 3 months' time, we will get the CE marking, go to the market. No, madam, this is not for Kerala, this is for everybody. So, and we are going to sell this off to Europe as well, because they are waiting for this. They have already, we went from glass bottles to plastic bottles. Luckily, I am very happy to see that you use glass bottles here. And we are still using plastic bottles, while the Europeans have gone back to glass bottles. In the olden days, sir spoke about Dharmendra ji. You must have seen movies where the villain is donating blood to the hero, and it is in a glass bottle. We went from the glass bottle to a plastic bag. We have to reverse that. Next slide, please. Next slide. This is a simple product. What you see it in every airline. If you have got it in an airline, you will see they give you paper bags for you to vomit. You pay 10,000 rupees for a ticket, they give you a paper bag, you sit and vomit. Ridiculous. See? We are there to enjoy this thing. They tell you, oh, you don't know how to fly, you get a headache, you use this and spit. We found that it is harming the environment. We made a product made of rubber, which can be reused, and it doesn't crumble. A simple spit bag. Replace all this doesn't require much certification also. This will go into the market this month. Next slide, please. Menstrual cups. This is already in existence. We use plastics in menstrual cups because lot of these napkins, they are non-biodegradable. So it was already there. So we went and told the Cochin University of Sciences and Technology, can you do something about this? They are high in polymer technology. So they said, if somebody can make us a rubber-based menstrual cup, we will do an antibacterial coating on top of that, so it is non-infectious. Lo behold, this month beginning, we have a product. Now we are doing the clinical trials. So this is the most environment friendly and for the body as well. Next slide, please. Everybody does an ultrasound probe, right? You go to the hospital, they will tell you to do an ultrasound. They will ask you to do a lot of things. Ab 10 rupees leke jaiye, they will ask you to spend 10 lakh rupees. They will make you do every test. Ultrasound probes are made of plastics because after each ultrasound, they either wipe it with a lot of toxic sterile material, then they will put it on to the next patient, which will be you. There will still have, you will, after this thing, you will feel very good, ho gaya sab kaam, put on a good dress and you will have an entire bacteria here. So what did we do? We asked again the rubber industry to come up with an ultrasound probe cover, which is disposable. So after, and it's not costly, it's rubber. You throw it onto the ground, put some mud on it, in 10 days' time, it will go back to the earth. Nothing happens. So this is another thing that we have already done. It's doing the human trials at Sri Chitra Institute of Medical Sciences. Next one, please. I promise you, just 2 more. Okay. Follis catheter. As I told you, any surgery you do, you need to have a catheter attached to your urinary tract, which will drain your urine because you can't stand up or walk. Traditionally made of plastics. We have now switched it to rubber, and we have given it to the largest manufacturing company in the world for Follis catheter. So take it, but give it back to these patients at a lower cost and make this universe sustainable. Next slide, please. And how can you not talk about Ayurveda in Kerala? We are traditionally well known for Ayurveda. You come there, God's own country, we put you in oil, we will massage you, give you a good time, take you out. We'll take all our money and then send you back. But jokes apart, we are very proud of our traditional systems. Today, there is an alternative medicine, in fact, in all hospitals and medical. There are wellness centers. What are wellness centers? Nothing, Ayurveda. They bring you there, they tell you it is peace for your mind. They have already taken out your peace by taking all the money in allopathy. Then after that, they will take you to Ayurveda, do this thing and take you out. But we wanted to help Ayurveda as well. So in Ayurveda, the biggest things that were done is using the Vasti. Vasti is Nasyam, or if you can pour in oil into your body, either through this or through your anus. So we found that it is, for people who cannot do this here, we do it through the anus. It's a very traditional, and you pour hot oil, using herbs. It's a very painful procedure because it uses plastic, and it's highly infectious. So after Ayurveda, you have to go to allopathy, take a high dose of antibacterial, antimicrobial medicines and come out. You commonly call it as antibiotics. So there is a AMR campaign going in Kerala against antibiotics. So we went to the Ayurveda industry and said, why are you doing this? A small-time farmer in a remote village in Kerala called Pala. Pala is in Kottayam, northern Kerala. He came up with this kit, which is made of rubber. It's less painful, almost 90% pain. Look at this as you go along. Next, and the last slide. So, what is the future and how do we propagate and continue doing this? Today I am at Kerala Medical Tech to take this forward. So we have a plan in place. Anybody comes, so people are not important, but the processes. If you have a good process in place, this will go on. Just like Guru Nanak University, I've seen your campus, sir, fantastic campus. In the morning when I did not have a little bit of power, I came inside and walked around. Fantastic campus. So, we are encouraging eco-friendly innovations. Like we are asking big business houses to come up with new eco-friendly, environment-friendly products. We are telling the manufacturers in Kerala that start using environment-friendly things even from the designing stage, because people look at environment after the product is ready. Okay, the product is ready, but sorry, we don't have any environment in this. So we said, why didn't you do it? Please start doing it when you draw the design for this, because that's where it has to be incorporated. We are telling and forcing our hospitals and the companies to take out the waste that they generate. So if you don't do that, your license will not be renewed. That's something that we are very subtly telling them. As always, Kerala people are opposing it, but that is okay. Little bit of opposition, we will come over it. We are putting in green practices. That is better said than done. Some of the initiatives are which I showed you earlier. We are also trying to bring in policy advocacy. So one of the policies that we have brought in is any company doing research on environment-friendly medtech products, or for that any products, in association with a research institute or a university in Kerala, will get 35% of the R&D cost reimbursed. That's something that we have said. So these are things that we are trying to do. And then one last slide. I think I've overshot by 2 minutes. One more slide, I guess. No, thank you. You are all well off. So that was my presentation. If you have any questions, I can take that. Otherwise, thank you for this opportunity. It has been fantastic coming back. I did an online session 4 years back when it was COVID. I couldn't see any people. I also switched off my camera so that I did not want people to, because I was in a lungi, sir, like I said, and a t-shirt. I didn't want anybody to see me. But it was fantastic because I could sense the audience. But this is fantastic, such a good auditorium, people sitting here, people listening to me. Thank you for the opportunity. I didn't wear this, unlike some of my other courses, because I didn't want to ruin this. I want to take it back to my wife and kid. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for elaborately giving us a real picture of medical devices market and its sustainability and Japanese lunchbox, which is a completely new sea of information. We all enjoyed listening to your speech, sir. I once again thank you. I now invite Dr. M. Kavita, Co-Convener and Deputy Dean, Guru Nanak Center for Skill Development, to introduce our chief guest, Dr. Anil Lamba, Director, LAMCOM, Financial Literacy Activist and International Corporate Trainer.
Very good morning to one and all present here. Warm greetings from Guru Nanak College, Autonomous, School of Commerce, International Conference on Cross-Border Commerce, ICCBC team. First and foremost, I express my sincere thanks, gratitude, and heartfelt congratulations to our most respected General Secretary and Correspondent, Mr. Manjit Singh Nair, the President's Medal winner for the Distinguished Service 2025. We congratulate you, the exemplary and the extraordinary leader, with a nice round of applause. Hearty congratulations to you, sir. Today, we have in our midst the eminent financial literacy activist and an internationally acclaimed corporate trainer, Dr. Anil Lamba. Dr. Anil Lamba is a practicing chartered accountant with degrees in commerce, law, and a doctorate in taxation. He is the founder and director of LAMCON School of Management, a renowned business school located in Pune, India. And he is a director of LAMCON Finance and Management Services Private Limited, a company providing financial services and consultancy. His financial intelligence mechanism is popular in the financial services domain. Dr. Anil Lamba is a renowned financial expert and the educator. He is the founder of LAMCON, a company dedicated to provide financial literacy and management training to the individuals and the corporates worldwide. Dr. Lamba has authored several best-selling books on finance and has developed various e-learning programs. With over 2 decades of experience in training and financial consulting, Dr. Lamba has transformed the financial education for individuals and businesses alike. His training programs are sought after over by 1,000 large and medium-sized corporations across India, the USA, Europe, Russia, Africa, the Middle East, and the Far East. Dr. Lamba is also the conceptualizer and driving force behind the Financial Literacy for All, a movement aimed at creating a financially intelligent India. His commitment to spreading the financial awareness has impacted the countless professionals, entrepreneurs, the institutions worldwide. A pioneer in e-learning and online training, he has developed an extensive set of training videos which are popular among the financial services domain. Figure out the world of figures. Anil Lamba and finance. Dr. Lamba has written several books and over 1,000 articles on finance. With a nice round of applause, the Guru Nanak College is appreciating Dr. Lamba for giving the finance articles to us. His best-selling books include Romancing the Balance Sheet, a game changer in the financial literacy, Flirting with the Stock, a must-read for market enthusiasts, Eye on the Bottom Line, giving insights into the financial decision-making, Financial Affairs of the Common Man, simplifying finance for everyone. Through his role as the Director of LAMCON Finance and Management Services, Dr. Lamba is revolutionizing the financial education by taking all the training activities online. His latest digital initiative, Finance Age, consists of 18 new video modules designed for TV and IPTV broadcast, along with the e-books, enhanced digital resources, and mobile learning apps, making financial education more accessible and more engaging than ever. Dr. Lamba's work is not just about numbers, it's about empowering the individuals, businesses to make informed financial decisions and achieve financial independence. We are so honored and really fortunate to have Dr. Anil Lamba with us. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Dr. Anil Lamba. We cordially invite Dr. Anil Lamba, Director, LAMCOM Financial Literacy Activist and International Corporate Trainer, and our beloved professor, to deliver the inaugural address of this historic international conference. Sir, please.
Good morning. Mr. Manjeet Singh Nair, General Secretary, who's doing such a fantastic job over here, Principal and all the other faculty members of this esteemed educational institution, all the respected guests, and my friends. Manjeet Singh, out of kindness, invited me, even though I am probably the least qualified to speak on this subject over here. I understand finance, cross-border impact on climate change on finance. I don't understand much, but I was thinking it's not only the environmental climate, but also the political climate that affects. And right now, a major political change has taken place when the leadership in the US has changed. And that is going to, I think, disrupt to a large extent the international trade. So I thought maybe let's talk a little bit about that. I was still sitting over there and thinking what to speak to you guys about. We'll quickly compare the domestic situation and then the international situation. Recently, very, very recently, our Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman presented the budget. I hope most of you must have at least glanced through it. Now, what does a budget tell you? A budget is a statement that tells you for the next year where the country plans to get its money from and where it plans to spend. Now, in a country, where does the money come from? Two sources. Country earns the money and you borrow the money. Earnings happens through taxation, etc. Borrowings, of course, is again two types, domestic and international. And where do you spend the money? Again, on two things. Partially to run the country. On the one hand, if you want to earn income tax revenue, then you have to hire income tax people, pay them salaries. And you spend money on creating infrastructure, roads and bridges and airports. And now, I have always felt, the feeling that I have got, is there is a different set of people working on the receiving money part, and a different group of people planning the spending, and the two groups don't talk to each other. They do their own thinking. Now, if these two groups are going to work independent of each other, then you can visualize a few scenarios. Let's imagine the people in charge of spending decide we want to spend 100 rupees. And the people in charge of seeing where the money will come from do their own thinking. Then there are three possibilities. They might collect 100, or they might collect more than 100, or less than 100. Have you ever seen a budget where the planned receipts and planned expenditures are the same? Never. If it ever happens, that budget will be called a balanced budget. Have you ever seen a budget where the receipts are greater than expenses? Never. If that happens, that will be called a surplus budget. Have you seen a budget where the receipts are 80 and spending is 100? Every year. That is a deficit budget. Now, folks, tell me, what is the difference between a budget that you and I prepare for our personal, in our personal life, and the budget that government prepares? If you and I have to prepare our budget, which side will you prepare first, the receipts or the spending? We will first figure out how much money can we raise. And then we will decide, okay, then where can we spend it? The first difference is governments work in the reverse. They decide the spending first. And then they take care of these minor details where it will come from. And guys, if you're going to receive 80 and spend 100, this you and I cannot do, government can do. And how can the government do that? Because they also happen to be the owners of the printing press. So when the government of India finds that they want to spend and they don't have the money, then the phone call goes to Nasik. Can you print so many more notes? When you print money to meet expenditure, that phenomenon is called deficit financing. So what is deficit financing a name given to? It is a name given to the tendency on the part of the government to print money to spend. And other things we will not discuss because deficit financing then leads to inflation, etc., etc., etc. But my topic today is something else. Now tell me, what is India allowed to print? Rupees. What do we use rupees for? Domestic spending. But the cross-border, that topic that you have given, if India wants to import, guys, like it or not, the international trade happens in dollars. And India is not allowed to print dollars. So if you want to import and spend dollars, then you should export and earn dollars. And if your exports fall short of imports, what is that situation called? It's a negative trade balance. It is also called a current account deficit. So if you have a current account deficit, that means your spending is greater than earnings, then either you will have to If you can't earn, then you'll have to borrow dollars. Sorry, if you can't borrow, then you'll have to buy dollars from the open market. And how do you buy dollars? You have to sell rupees and buy dollars. So you create a demand for dollars, you create a supply for rupees, so dollar becomes stronger, rupee becomes weaker, etc., etc., etc. But guys, there's one country in the world which is allowed to print dollars. And that is the USA. That means USA is the only country in the world that can print money for domestic use as well as for international use. And it gives them unlimited power. So if I go a step backward, and who decided the world will deal in dollars? How did dollar get the status of world reserve currency? Who gave it to them? You see, prior to US, if I go several centuries back, when money originally started, it used to be supported by a reserve of gold. You want to print 100 rupees, keep 100 rupees of gold aside. Otherwise, that paper has no value. And the logic was, anybody having a paper money can go to the government and say, here is 100 rupees, give me 100 rupees of gold, and the government will give it to you. That's what gave value to the paper. So when you print money against a reserve of gold, that system was called the gold standard. And the currency was called hard currency. Now I'm talking about 300 years ago. But then what happened? Countries' need for money grew faster than the availability of gold. Countries were developing, you needed infrastructure, so they realized, okay, everyone doesn't come every day to ask take my paper money and give me gold. So government said, if we want print 100 rupees, we'll keep 80 rupees of gold. Then they said, we'll keep 60 rupees of gold. Then they said, we'll keep 40 rupees of gold. And then one by one, they stopped keeping gold. When you don't keep a reserve of gold, that system is called fiat system, and the currency is called soft currency. Amongst the last country that hung on to the gold standard was Great Britain. I think even Great Britain got out of it just before the First World War. 1913 or something. They tried to re-enter, if I'm not wrong, somewhere in 27, 28, but they failed. Now, guys, if you don't keep gold, domestic market, it's okay. Internationally, how will people trust your currency? So it was creating a problem in international trade. If France deals with Japan, France doesn't trust the yen, Japan doesn't trust the franc. So this was becoming a bit of a problem in your cross-border trade. So a meeting was held in 1944 in a place in USA called New Hampshire. The meeting was held in a place called Bretton Woods. So it's famously called the Bretton Woods Conference. This was 1944. Leading countries of the world met over there. USA, of course, was there. Great Britain was there. Japan was there. I doubt if Germany was there because 1944, Second World War was on. India, of course, wasn't there because we were ruled by the British at that time. And one of the items on the agenda was, how do you do international trade? And they realized only one country had a lot of gold. And that was the US. There's a place in US called Fort Knox. Fort Knox is full of gold. And guys, America very smartly, as always, was the major supplier of arms and ammunition, both in the First World War and the Second World War. And when a war is going on, nobody's going to trust your currency. So all the payment for arms and ammunition had come in the form of gold. So end result was US was loaded with gold. So all the countries of the world in 1944 decided that only America will keep gold and print dollars. And the rest of the world will trade in dollars. That is how the US dollar got the status of world's reserve currency. It happened in 1944, but it didn't get implemented till about early 50s. Thereafter, it started, it became the norm. Then the year was 1971. America had probably the worst president, unless Trump takes the title now. But otherwise, till then, Richard Nixon, who was the only president to have been impeached in office. Now, Trump again has taken away that. He's been impeached twice. Richard Nixon, folks, had become a president with little difficulty. He lost the first time. And then he became the president. Guys, if you take your mind back, a little bit of history, Vietnam War was on, which probably started in 1958 or 57 and went on till well after mid-70s it went on. So I'm talking about 71 when the war is on. And guys, when the war is on, and America was in the thick of it, countries need to print a lot of money because you only spend a lot of money. And America, if they print a lot of money, the value of the dollar can fall. And if the value of dollar falls, the whole world is trading in dollars. The risk is everybody might rush to the US, please take our dollars and give us gold. Very dangerous. And Richard Nixon's re-election was around the corner. And if you want to win elections, you have to keep your voting population happy. Unlike giving freebies like we do in India, at least you have to give them infrastructure, you have to give them good roads, you have to give them airports. So you need to spend. If you need to spend, you need to print money. And Richard Nixon did not want any chance of losing election. All his advisors told him, you don't print money because then other countries of the world may come to demand gold. But Mr. Nixon did not want any chance of losing the elections. So guys, in 1971, Richard Nixon got up and announced that even we will not keep gold and print dollars. What I'm trying to tell you is, why does it continue? There is no alternative in sight. Prior to the dollar, which was the world reserve currency? It was the British pound. According to me, British pound lost relevance in 1913 when they exited the gold standard. But the substitute was not found till 1944. I am saying since 1971, the US dollar has no moral right to be the world reserve currency, but no substitute is found till date. One shudders to think what will happen in case a substitute is found. And a country that raises its head every now and then is China. That yuan should get the status. God forbid if that happens. I don't know what will be the result. And Trump is absolutely scared about that happening. When BRICS decided to come out with a currency, he has threatened. If you come out with that currency, 100% tariff, he's scared. America deals with any risk, any competition to the dollar ruthlessly. One man had the courage, had the audacity to get up and say, just to spite the US, I will not sell oil in dollars. I will sell in euros. Who was that? Mr. Saddam Hussein. Guys, America could not let him live after that. The real reason for killing him, all the other things were excuses built around it. Weapons of mass destruction, etc., etc. The idea was it was such a dangerous statement. If it caught on, the US dollar can come into question. After Saddam Hussein, Mr. Muammar Gaddafi of Libya did the same thing. They finished him off. In between, Mr. Erdogan of Turkey started making noises. They almost staged a coup in Turkey. When Iran started to do similar things, one was wondering what will happen to Iran. Fortunately, Barack Obama reached a deal and that saved the country. But why is America so worried? What power does it give them? Unlimited power. In the earlier days, you want Pakistan on your side? How many $1 billion aid is to be given? Give it. All you have to do is print. America is the only country that can print currency that is used for domestic purpose and international purpose. Ford Motors is about to collapse, go bankrupt. How much do you want? $800 million? Print it. Now tell me, what happens if your imports are greater than your exports? Does currency enter your country or does currency leave your country? It leaves. America has a huge negative balance of trade. I may not have the latest numbers, but if I remember correctly, they were importing more than they were exporting, over $1 trillion of goods, which means more than $2.5 to $3 billion every day is their negative balance of trade. Does currency enter US or does it leave the US? It should be leaving. But funnily, it enters. How does it enter? Who does America buy from? They buy from China, they buy from Japan, they buy from India. And they are paid in what currency? In dollars. But what does India need dollars for? We need rupees. Japan needs yen. China needs yuan. So when these countries earn in dollars, you take the dollars back to the US and invest in the US. So it comes back. As a result, folks, not now the number has changed, but some time back, well over $1 trillion of US Treasury bonds were held by China. China, of course, is getting cold feet about these things, and they systematically are selling there. Every day you pick up the paper, you'll read so many $1 billion of bonds are sold. They don't do it together, otherwise it can create a ripple effect, but they do it slowly. And now I think China's Treasury bond holding has come down to some $750 billion or something. Without exaggeration, half the real estate of US is owned by Japan. India invests sovereign funds in US. So as a result, nobody wants the dollar to collapse. Guys, if the dollar does collapse, not only America will suffer, India will suffer, Japan will suffer, China is such a sweet spot. But I shudder to think, in case one day America loses the world reserve currency status, America itself can collapse like a house of cards, but many other countries will suffer. And I have a strong feeling, I'm not an expert on these things, but I have a strong feeling right now, considering Trump is there and the kind of noises he is making, and the way he's nervous about the BRICS, I think back channel, huge discussions must be going on between Russia, China, India, to come out with an alternate currency. And if that happens, guys, the biggest disruption in your cross-border trade is going to be taking place. Not my subject, folks. I don't understand this. I thought, let me give my little 2 bits of thought. Always a pleasure, Manjeet Singh, to come here. What a lovely college you have. It's such a delight every time I come here. You students are fantastic. I remember last time I was here, what a wonderful audience we had, and so is the case today. Thank you so much. Pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your expertise and plethora of information on finance with us. It is indeed an eye-opener for us to understand and view foreign currency, finance, and international trade in a different perspective. Thank you, sir. Requesting all the heads, faculty members of School of Commerce, and committee members to be ready for a group photograph after the vote of thanks. May I now call upon Dr. Jeevaratnam Jain, co-convener, Deputy Dean, School of Commerce, to propose the vote of thanks.
Thank you, ma'am. Good morning, everyone.
It is indeed a privilege and moment of great honor for me to extend this vote of thanks on behalf of School of Commerce. At the outset, I would like to express our profound gratitude to our esteemed chief guest, Dr. Anil Lamba, Director of LAMCON, financial literacy activist, and international corporate trainer for his enlightening and thought-provoking speech. We are truly grateful for your presence and for making this session so engaging and insightful. I would like to extend my sincere thanks to our esteemed guest of honor, Dr. Azizul Haq, Associate Professor at Magza University, Malaysia. His insights and expertise have greatly enriched the session, providing us with a deeper understanding of cross-border commerce and broadening our perspectives. Thank you for your invaluable contributions and for being a part of this significant event. I would also like to extend my wholehearted thanks to our esteemed guest of honor, Mr. G.R. Rajesh, General Manager, Kerala Medical Technology Consortium. His engaging talk on sustainability has been truly informative and deeply inspiring. We are truly honored by your presence. A heartfelt thanks to our most respected General Secretary and Correspondent, Mr. Manjit Singh Nair, whose invaluable insights, visionary thoughts, and gracious support have truly elevated the significance of this international conference. I would like to express our heartfelt gratitude to our respected principal, Dr. T.K. Avekode, for her leadership, guidance, encouragement, and unwavering support, which has been instrumental in making this international conference a resounding success. A sincere appreciation to Dr. Swati Paliwal, Dean Academics, for her continuous support, insightful guidance, and relentless efforts to enhance our academic experience. I extend my sincere gratitude to our beloved Dean, School of Commerce, and convener, Dr. K. Umadevi, for her initiative in conceptualizing this international conference and for her tireless efforts in organizing every aspect of this grand event. Her meticulous planning, dedication, and hard work have been the driving force behind the seamless execution of this conference, bringing together experts, scholars, and professionals from across the globe. My sincere thanks to our Vice Principal, Dr. Anita Malichetti, and Controller of Examination, Dr. Kumaraguru, for their support and guidance. A wholehearted appreciation to the co-conveners, organizing committee members, heads of the departments, members of various committees, and the faculty members whose efforts, dedication, and teamwork have been instrumental in orchestrating this conference so efficiently. A sincere and heartfelt appreciation to our incredible student volunteers for their dedication and hard work. I extend my sincere thanks to technical team and administrative staff for their contribution towards the smooth functioning of today's proceedings. As we embark on this enriching academic journey over the course of this conference, let us take forward the spirit of collaboration, intellectual curiosity, and global learning. Once again, my deepest gratitude to one and all present here. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Requesting all the heads, staff members to come forward for a photograph. Heads of the department, heads under School of Commerce. Members. Requesting the committee members come forward for the photograph. I request Vice Principal Madam, COE Sir, Dean School of Management, and staff members of various schools of under School of Commerce, please kindly come forward. Editorial board members. Students kindly remain seated. It's a pleasure to inform that totally 10 technical sessions were planned in these two-day international conference, parallelly happening in the Shahid Baba Deep Singh Auditorium and Guru Ramdas Hall. And we go for quick glimpse of the resource person handling various technical sessions. Dr. Ankur Goyal, Professor and R&D, MIT Group, Mirut. Dr. Indranal Mutsudi, Head, Department of School of Management, JIS University, Kolkata. Dr. R. Kashalingam, Professor, Finance, Business Analytics and Business Law, Pondicherry University. Dr. Hakan Chenkers, Professor of Marketing, Karabuk University, Turkey. Dr. Ankita Chaturvedi, Associate Professor, Department of Accounting and Taxation, IIS, deemed to be University, Jaipur. Dr. Hari Mohan Rai, Assistant Professor, Research School of Computing, Gachon University, Seongganam, SI, Republic of Korea. Dr. Rajashankaran, PhD, IIM Ranchi, Associate Professor, CMS Business School. Dr. K.R. Shanmugam, Director and Professor, Madras School of Economics. Dr. A. Tamilarasu, Professor, Gambella University, Ethiopia, East Africa. Dr. Anurag B. Singh, Assistant Professor, Accounting and Finance, Indian Institute of Foreign Trade, Ministry of Commerce, Government of India. Parallelly, paper presentation will be held in hybrid mode, both online and offline, moderated by V. Sai Kumari, Professor and Head, Department of Management Studies, SRM Ishwar Engineering College, Chennai. Mr. Azim Bill, C. Eshwan, Founder and CEO, Hobsy Technologies Private Limited, to be the moderator for paper presentation. The deliberation by these experts will foster inclusive learning to create a sustainable business growing towards a global economy. Thank you once again. We shortly commence the technical session 1 and requesting all the paper presenters to move to the discussion room after the refreshments.